guys, this is how maple syrup season is going for us. A little bit crazy. I'm in my garage. I'm a little bit embarrassed. My garage is a bit of a mess, but here I am. I'm in here. And yeah, normally when we boil our maple syrup, we boil it outside. We usually use cinder blocks and then just put it on top in pans. We got kind of like a chef pan. There's stainless steel chef pans, and we put it on top and let burn some pallets, and we do it over top of fire. The weather this year has just not been cooperating for us. I had a water trough, and that's normally what we do. When we catch our syrup, we put it in the cleaned out water feed, like a cow trough, water trough, and we were waiting for a nice day, and it just kept raining, or it was so windy. Sorry, my fridge just kicked on. Hopefully you can still hear me. Yeah, so it's been windy, it's been rainy, it's just been really awful, so we haven't been able to work outside over a campfire type deal. So we are trying to improvise because, guys, when you have sap, it doesn't last forever. You can keep it cold. We keep it cold in that fridge or in my garage here where it's actually quite cold. But it only lasts for so long, and then all of a sudden it gets like cloudy and it gets bitter. So we were waiting on the days, and it was getting longer and longer. I started going, okay, we need to improvise. I'll show you this little quick, fast, not efficient setup that I have going on here. And so I started doing that, and like I said, it's not efficient, so it's very slow going. And I noticed all of a sudden there was a day, and I'm like, the sap changed, and I'm like, I'm not using it anymore because I can tell if I use that, then our maple syrup will be no good. So I'm so glad I did, because the maple syrup we did get, oh my gosh, seriously, I think it's probably the most delicious maple syrup we've ever made. It is so sweet. It's almost too sweet. It's so good. I'll show you a few of it. We didn't get very much because, like I said, it's slow going, and yeah, like we ended up having to throw out so much because it just goes bad. You can't use it. So anyways, I wasn't going to bother doing another round. I was like, oh, that's it for this year. And then all of a sudden, the last few days, it went really cold again because it was a little bit warm. So we weren't getting the best drip days. Like, we really weren't getting very much a day. It took so long to gather just a little bit. But all of a sudden, it got cold again, and we got warm days, and it just started dripping yesterday like mad. So I'm like, you know what? Start over. Let's try it. Maybe we'll only get another liter, 2 liters, but hey, why not try it? Give it a go. It's not like if I do it in this way that I'm doing it, it's not like I have to stay beside a fire all day long and babysit it. I have to check on it, but yeah. So anyways, I will show you. It's one way to do it. So like I said, I'm in my dirty, messy garage. So we got a pail here, or a big pot here, and I have this camp stove going, and this is how we did it, guys. You do what you got to do. You have the garage door cracked open to keep. You don't do it in your house. It's too much heat, too much steam. It's not good for your walls, especially if you have wallpaper. I've heard that it'll actually strip your wallpaper down. So anyways, we got this stock pot going. I got another stock pot full. That one isn't quite full. I could go grab more. I got more in buckets out in trees that I haven't even brought in. I got this little stock pot full. This little pail full. I got to get a lid for this. And then this full. And if there's some needles in it, it's okay. I use a strainer before I put it into here. So that'll all be gone. So yeah, so this is what we're doing. And as this burns down, I just take more, add it in. And right now it is dripping so fast outside. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be able to keep up, but I'm going to try. We'll see what we can get. So here are the first 2 bottles that we made with our first burn down of the syrup. This is 500 mils, and I'm not sure how much this is. It was full, but we've been using it because it is delicious, guys. Look at that color. It's awesome. No, it's It's not very much. There's been years we made a lot more, but this stuff is, I almost was to the point. You have to be very careful near the end because it starts bubbling when it's burning down, and then all of a sudden, like that, it will be bubbling and it will caramelize on you, and then it's no good at all. So it was just about there. I almost had caramelization happening, so it's very thick, very sweet, absolutely delicious. But yeah, it takes a lot of sap to make a little bit of syrup. So as I said, yeah, it takes a lot of sap to make a little bit of syrup. No, we don't do this to have sap the whole year. We just don't have the operation for that. We have done it in the past, but we've also had good days where we could boil outside. So you can do larger quantities at a time. But if you've never done it before, maybe next year you can give it a go. It's a good learning process. My kids have learned a lot. If nothing else, it teaches them a new skill. I hope you have a fantastic day. We'll see you next time. Bye. Okay, so sorry about my voice. It's a little scratchy today. This is option 2. Luckily enough, it's not supposed to rain till way late today. So we decided to go ahead and fix up this little stove that we have outside, and then boil some sap, because over the weekend we got so much sap. Like the one day almost every pail on our trees was level full, so we knew we had to do something differently, because we had to get through all this sap or it would just go to waste, because doing it in the garage on the stove is just not economic. So this is the second way. We had to fix it up. We didn't do it last year because I broke my ankle. So we needed to put a new stovepipe in, and it's very janky, guys. Like, if you want to do stuff on the cheap, this is how to do it, I guess. So basically, we just take some cinder blocks, make a U, have a stovepipe, and then like a L bracket that goes in. We fill it up with, we actually have tons of pallets, so we just chop all those pallets up, stick them in there. Excuse me. We have a piece of tin covering the hole, and we use some broken cinder blocks just to lift that up. Maybe, I think this may be about 2 inches, so that we get air going in. And today is the perfect day. We're having east wind, so, and this is facing west, this is east, so this east wind is going under there. And when we have east winds, this means that air gets in there, and we always have the best boiling days. Smoke is just pouring out of that thing. We just started, so it's not boiling yet. We just filled them up. So what we'll do is we fill them both up. They have to start full. And then we'll take this, put it over here, add new. This over here, add new. So that's the finishing pan always. So I'll come back and I'll have to check this every 20 minutes or so. So I have chores to do, and then I'll check it, and I'll do something else and come and check it. But there's lots of stuff around here to do outside today. So I will continually check this. This is the one thing about this kind of system. It has to be baby sap, because you either are filling or you're adding all the time. Excited to be out here, Daisy. We've been letting the big girls out because it's a little wet, so they'll just do this, muck it all up. So we want to let that grass grow long, but she needed a day outside. She won't do that big of a job of making it in a mess. As well as doing everything else outside and getting that maple syrup boiled, it's Wednesday. So I'm getting eggs ready to go to the grater. So I got 7 baskets I got to get ready. We'll see at the end how many flats I get. I'm hoping, normally I do 6 flats in for a box, and I'm hoping I get 3 to 4 bundles. So the thing I'm gonna do while I'm working on my maple syrup today is I'm in the greenhouse. I have a bunch of pepper starts that are starting to get almost a little leggy, so I need to pot them up. I got these pots that I've reused several times. I'll pot them up into this, and then I'll put them in a tray, and then I always bottom water. So that's my next project for right now. So I'm gonna I have my bucket down here. You can't see it probably. It's my pail that I have in my workbench. Add some water to it, mix it around, make sure it's nice and damp. Just adding some water to my ground here. I'm gonna stir it all up. Make sure it's damp and not soggy, too wet. Hands will get dirty. Don't we all love us gardeners love dirty hands though? So, that next looks pretty good. Soon got to get a lot more started. I'm kind of starting to get behind, but I've got so much going on that I sometimes don't know which direction to turn. Set these in here. All of these peppers that I have starts in this little tray are all California Wonder peppers. I tried to grow doubles. Sometimes I put a few extra seeds in, and the places that I did have extra seeds, I have 2. So I have to be careful pulling those apart, and then I missed 2 didn't grow up, so I didn't get any extra. It's the exact amount that I grew. So I'm going to have this little handy dandy fork came with some of my stuff I got this year. Down in here. Pull that guy out. Lots of roots. I have that door kind of open. I'm going to have to latch it. The wind keeps catching it. It's quite warm in here. Let me see, what does that say? It's 24 degrees in here. It's quite warm. Feels good. So that's what I'll do. So I'll just do that and continue on. So it was definitely time to pot these things up. These are my California Wonders that I will have this year. Hopefully they grow well. They will stay outside now. I'm going to put them on this side of my greenhouse on the top shelf. It has a bit of shade. They were just growing under some grow lights in my house, so I want to just slowly integrate them into the greenhouse. At night, I will put them in my greenhouse, that's in there, and I have 2 heat mats in there. Don't mind the mess. I have not got this greenhouse the way I want it yet. I have 2 heat mats in my greenhouse. for some of the seedlings that I have started. So it stays really nice and warm in there. It's perfect for germinating seeds and keeping things like this at night warm. So, because it does get quite cold, even in a greenhouse at night, it will get cold. So I will put these on the shelf then. So I'm just going to quick show you some of these really cool things I started. So these are some Brussels sprouts. Let's see if I can see them. Yeah, there's a bunch in there. They're coming along good. And then this one is it's like small broccoli. It's just like the floret types. Or broccolini. There's quite a few in there. Thinking about putting them in my raised bed, those ones soon. With some plastic over top. And then this is my walking stick kale, my favorite kale that I grow. It's so tasty. And there's a bunch in there, so that's exciting. All right, so now it's time to head down and check on the maple syrup again. We're down here. There is some foam, so I will skim the foam off. You can see that this one isn't boiling as hard as this one. And this is also a lot darker in color than this, because that's the one we finished. So I'm going to skim this off, and then I will take some, put it over, and then refill it with just the sap, and then check on the fire as well. boiling a lot, and just like a jam recipe, I took some and put it on a plate. It's almost done. Yeah, it's getting pretty thick. It's good. And then I'll put it into here. So this will catch any particles that are in there. This is a applesauce strainer. It works great. So I'll just put it all in there, and then it will drain into the